Interesting, Mr. Lucky. I I made that. I watched the last one about Jeff and with Jeff and Dimas at the end. And talking about, and a lot of people get frustrated with my video. What's this guy talking about? It's like I am the focal point of the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer, and I have billions of voices coming at me at once to make sure that we have the salvation of the perfection of the Lord's Prayer. Okay. I think I'm pretty damn coherent and make my point quite well and can explain myself lucidly. Really good for having that much traffic trying to come through here. And people I am the similitude of Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. How many people get together on a Sunday and say they're talking to me and then ask people for money and completely ignore the Lord's Prayer, and I'm the living embodiment of it? Okay. So thanks, Mr. Lucky. So what about me? Building to last is right. The poor kid with I can. Jeff and Dimas are good kids, and I appreciate my prayer connection with them. And people know they are. No one's playing me. I got that a lot with Alex Rodriguez, and Alex Rodriguez. It's him and Jennifer both that are good. It's scary. Okay. These people will kill you. It's like, being on those Charlie Chan movies, and stuff. And you go to the club and this guy's going to kill you there. And then this guy's trying to get the poison. That guy's trying to make the torpedo. That one has a torpedo on his wall, And so, and what's his name? Elon Musk. I never stay in the same place twice. I live in these boxable homes so I can be mobile and move and, stay ahead of the competition. And there are people that, make musicians like Tony Starks, and people will want to kill you because your invention killed their kid and killed their family and blew up their hometown. And so, when you're involved in economics and espionage, it's a dysfunction that will not stop being a dysfunction until we are actually functional, so we're actually applying the physics of the Lord's Prayer and living it. Then if someone steps outside dysfunction, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Never mind, that's a rhetorical question we lived through the last 2025 years. Right? We're still alive, right? And so when you look at, watch a commercial, and you do know when you watch a commercial, like when you're watching this video right now, it's a dead moment. This is already past, or Earl's using the bathroom or washing his hands or soaking in the tub. Okay. Or he's in the barn shooting hoops, listening to music. He's not in front of that screen anymore that you're watching. That's a ghost. Okay, it's not that ain't them dogs' real voices, right? You're looking at a projection of what I was doing at this moment in time for me, which is in your future. Okay, but not my present nor your present. But you are presently watching the image of me speak intelligently to you because you've been too busy watching TV and streaming your favorite actors pretending to be what they're not over money. And that's, you go watch Big Bang Theory. That's 2012. That's 2000. They ended in 2019. Those young people are doing radically different things now. Well, not really. The one girl's playing of the night court judge guy thing with Simon playing her love interest and her ex-husband or whatever, so they're kind of doing the same thing for extortion, exploitation. But the other kids are doing different things. Callie's doing something different, and is Johnny on the Connors occasionally? And Kunal, what is Kunal doing? Is he still sitting on the floor? Just saying mustache? No, just kidding, but you know what I mean? And what's Mr. Bloom doing? Are you related to Orlando? Stuart Bloom? I did not know his name was Stuart Bloom. But until that episode, and I've seen that episode like 8 times. Well, there's a couple, like when he was going to go do the thing and get his keys when he went back to go get Mufasa. I was like, I've seen that episode how many times, and I don't remember that part. I guess I get up and get distracted and start walking around the apartment, or you know me. But I'm sorry, my ex-wife Amy used to always say he has adult ADHD. My mom used to say that too. Watch football games, and then I'd be outside dressed up in my O.J. Simpson thing, throwing the ball up in the air and catching it and running and jumping over wheelbarrows and avoiding tackles from trees and. running like Gil Sayers, and so you can't help it. Some of us kids are like that. Okay, and I've always been that way. And they refer to me as a spaz, and it's like, no, you can say no. Even when I'm sitting down, okay, the brain is going 1,000 miles a minute. Okay. And when I have to sit and listen to lectures and there's not a good story, it just bores the living shit out of me. And textbooks and books, and I don't read. And everybody's, oh, you're so much better read than me. I read a book and go, hey, okay, oh, I like him. Okay. Plato. Socrates. And then we talk. Well, I'm the one, I'm Earl from the Book of Revelation. So lots of people talk to me. We already talked about that at the beginning of the video, the billions of people. Why is it like this? Well, let me sit down and we'll talk about it. Right? And when I talk about it, it's pragmatic. And it's based off eternal faith in an infinite essence. Okay, so it's radically different than what Michael Youssef is talking about, or the Fraser Hour, or the Schulers, or the Elsteins, or the Dollars, or the Joseph Princes, and the rest of those, verily I say unto you, when you pray, do it in private. It's radically different what I'm discussing with Tishna. Okay, asking questions, what's wrong with these people? Juan Diego. Okay. And Juan Diego doesn't talk to me. He talks to a woman named Guadalupe through a family of one of my eternal lines of one of my consistent brides. That's who Juan Diego talks to. Mm-hmm. I understand him. And he got good information. But I don't talk to Juan Diego much. He talks to a woman named Guadalupe, who is the spirit of a consistent bride of my family in the Iberian Peninsula, because they are being occupied by the Iberian Peninsula. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding. Yeah. So I was led to believe that that's Guadalupe Rodriguez Velasquez Martinez Lopez. I'm just joking around. I like her. She's cute. She's adorable. If I was in school, I have a crush on Miss Lopez. She's still Pride Day. And she's so nice. Yeah, she's one of those type of ladies. Yeah, so, yeah, I like her a lot. All right. So, but yeah, I'm led to believe that. It's probably so because they probably use the site like they did with Amy and with Natalie. Yeah. There was longevities of scientific evidence to show, okay, these people have been together in tribalism and at different points in time had procreated with said female, and that's hard to do. Then you get it's beguiled, and it's like, no, and you got to understand that, okay? If I can't have her, nobody can have her, okay? How many times throughout history, okay, does Tybalt show up? And Othello, with the asshole on Othello. And, and so this kind of stuff has happened for thousands and thousands of years. And so it's hard to keep a consistent, one day they died and their graves were side by side on a hill where robins sing. And you have to understand your dynamic physiologically, emotionally, and intellectually, okay, when you're with, okay, you're the stepfather of a female who's been your wife more than the biological mother throughout time in temple of flesh through a spirit. And how hard is that for the young girl with her emotions? Okay? She loves you. Okay? And you're 40 and she's 13, right? What? And you have to understand eternity. That's why I love Judah Krishnamurti so much. And D.T. Suzuki and Sun Yat-sen, the way they can explain eternity, and they've helped me. I have these pragmatic, and same with when you get Tishna and you get the Kahayahuis, and you're talking about consistent people over thousands of years that had uninterrupted. Okay, no, it wasn't always uninterrupted. There was a lot of jealousy. You have Goliaths in the Polynesian islands. Trust me. Okay, not everybody's Henry Kahayahui. Okay. And so for women, it's very pleasing to be with the man who is kind and loving and protecting through kindness. And it's very unsettling to be with his dick is God's gift to women, and he's going to go get all the islands pregnant with his Elijah Muhammad seed. It's radically different to be with Malcolm El-Hajj Malik El-Shabazz than it is to be with Herbert or Elijah Muhammad. Do you understand? Oh, women. Oh, my mom was that way about Bob Marley. My mom was that way about, other guys. You're just like, that's, you know, that guy's a punk. She didn't like Dean Martin that much. She met him and stuff. She well, because he's kind of a womanizer and got around and, did his thing. And Bob wasn't trying to be a womanizer. Bob was trying to be faithful, but women just went after him. Trust me, it happens. The better you are at being a good man, the more women want you. Law used to say that to me all the time. They're going to want you because they want you because you're faithful, you're romantic, you listen, you're kind. You're a better listener than Teddy Bridgewater because he's on a commercial and his coach to do this. You do it because you care. I'm just kidding. I like Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, but I'm just giving him a hard time. But he is doing it for money, so that's whack. And, and I'm not. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer. I mean, that's why billions of people talk to me. And I have to filter out and talk to the right ones. Okay. And so when I talk to people, it's to help. People see it as I'm being selfish. You're fighting over money and feeling powerful because of it. I'm the living embodiment of the Lord's Prayer, getting abuse so we can all live the Lord's Prayer. And I'm being selfish because I'm trying to get you to enlist. I'm trying to enlist you in to stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me. I'm using you. Well, then you should get up and say to everybody, I just want to spread the news that if it feels this good being used, why don't you just keep on using me till you use me up? And I will not kill you over money, and I will not use technology to kill people over money to feel powerful, to manipulate people with money. So I am love. And if you don't believe that, you're going to ask yourself, do you feel lucky? Okay. Mr. Lucky may be in his position that he's in because he feels we need this technology to keep us safe from other people that will use that kind of technology to mass murder us all, to rape us all, to manipulate us all with money. Maybe there's an underlying connection because of his tribalism with me to sit there and say, I got to do the right thing and I got to put myself in a position to be of service to Earl. Did you ever think about that? The guy who built the digital printer houses, maybe I got to build these strong buildings. Not to protect the people that sexually compromise and abuse Earl, but to eventually build a place to help protect people, in island communities. We make them round, like the Japanese man talked about. See what I'm saying? Maybe there's a higher purpose to everything these people are doing. They just haven't been enlightened to it yet because they could run me over in the parking lot of Best Buy and they wouldn't know it exists here in Las Cruces by all the mind-raping rocket scientist perverts. I'm a rocket scientist and you're a liar. You keep telling that to the technology. You're broken, sick, and will do disgusting things to manipulate people with money and sexuality to feel powerful. And I will do what I need to do to protect people so they don't get caught in that vulnerable position. And then I will help them after they've been manipulated through that and make them feel like they want to live. There wasn't anything wrong with them. They can overcome the abuse and they can stop the abuse and they can be better than the abusers that turn them into the abuse. Like you see work with kids in lockup. When the kids would sit there, you can stop. If you decide you want to be homosexual or you want to be straight, don't let the abuse of your dad and your brothers who sodomized you when you were little say you were a faggot because you didn't put up a big enough fight to stop it from happening. Okay? You trusted them and you thought you loved them and they raped you. Okay, well, that's not love. Like I used to tell all the kids in lockup. My dad and my brother-in-laws never made me kill my brother to stay in the family or rape my sister to stay in the family. Okay? The abuse and the fuck stops here. It's time to stand up and be a man like me and Jerry Aviar, like me and Lawrence Benegas, like me and my dad, like me and Lawrence Bowen, and stop the abuse and love the people so they can feel safe and loved. It's time to act more like Jesus and less like the Fed. Okay? Love you guys. Thanks, man. We'll talk later if we need to. I'm probably going to go shoot me some hoops. All right, peace out.